On this vote, the yeas are 260, the nays are 165.
I saw in their eyes and their children who were there, I saw a hope to become free of fear of deportation.
Valley Congressman T.J. Cox and Jim Costa spearheading the passage of the Farm Workforce Modernization Act. It made history on the House floor, and it's the first farm labor reform bill to pass since 1986. The bill is expected to impact 230,000 farm workers here in the Central Valley. It will allow undocumented farm workers with at least 2 years of experience in the U.S. to apply for a 5-year renewable visa for them and their families. Farm workers with at least 10 years in the U.S. would be eligible for permanent residency into the U.S. with a payment of a $1,000 fine. Now, on top of that, House Democrats in the Trump administration have actually agreed on something: the new USMCA deal. It's President Trump's renegotiated NAFTA. It's a trade deal between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. Each country's legislature will have the chance to vote to confirm the new agreement. Both Democrats and Republicans say big win for American workers and especially for our farmers. And so inquiring minds want to know, are both the labor bill and the USMCA a win-win for Valley farmers? Longtime Valley farmer, college professor Paul Betancourt. How are you, sir?
Good to see you.
Good to have you here. Weird week because farm and trade deals mixed in with impeachment hearings. Did it strike you as odd at all that this would come?
The timing's questionable, but we're going to take it.
Exactly. I want to start with the Farm Workforce Modernization Act with you. It's a bill that can offer a pathway to citizenship for undocumented farm workers. Longtime farmer you are. Will it work?
Sure. But I've actually argued against it. I've suggested ag doesn't ask for something special because we get a lot of breaks, and this is part of a bigger problem, but it's a great first step. And as your clip with Congressman Costa, there's a lot of people in the Valley that live in fear because of this. So this is a fantastic first step, and it's a good move for agriculture.
Do you think it would be dead on arrival in the Senate, though?
Well, no. We've courted Senator Feinstein for a long time, and she's been supportive of it. You mentioned 1986, the Immigration Reform and Control Act. We were talking 4 million people spread mainly around the southern U.S., farm states. Now we're talking 11, 12 million people spread throughout the whole country. This is a national issue.
But it's a Senate Republican-controlled.
True.
And we know how President Trump is not happy about the immigration status right now.
Well, and it was Republicans when Jeff Sessions was in the Senate. He shot down one 10 years ago that was well on its way to passing. So, yeah, that's a hurdle we're going to have to get over.
One of the biggest issues was, would it solve the farm worker shortage problem? Do you think it will?
It'll help. It's a step in the right direction.
I want to move to the USMCA deal. What does the trade deal really do for Valley farmers with Canada and Mexico?
Well, it's so new. I honestly haven't read the whole thing, but we've been strong supporters of globalization, global trade. It's economics 101, competitive advantage. We do ag really well here. And so we've supported free trade, but we found out immediately there were some issues with it, and it wasn't fair trade. For example, phytosanitary standards were used against California growers. And so we've been arguing for over 10 years that we need fair trade to go with free trade, and this is a step in the right direction on that. It's amazing they both happen at the same time.
We still have to wait for Mexico and Canada to sign on the dotted line here. Will they, you think?
I think so. It's in their interest to do it.
Yeah. So it's a big win for farmers.
Absolutely.
Big win. So who won? The Trump administration or the House Democrats who said, yeah, we're going to now sign on to this bill? Well, where they reformed it just a bit.
There's the old saying, success has many parents and failure is an orphan. And since everybody's dogpiling and saying they're responsible for this, I think everybody's claiming credit because they think it's a good idea.
Pocketbook. Let's talk our pocketbook for farmers.
Sure.
What does it mean for small farmers? What does it mean for big commercial farmers?
It increases our markets and gives us easier access to markets. And that's a good thing because the more we can sell, that helps get our prices up, and the more our sales roll through the local Valley economy. So I think everybody here in the Valley benefits from it.
Has that not been happening?
It's been a little rough out there. Yeah, we're still not. I mean, China's the
big one.
The big one.
Yeah.
And that's really what needs to be dealt with. So I sold cotton a year ago at $1.40. I sold cotton last month at $1.05. I like the $1.40 a lot better.
Yeah, I would imagine
And
so.
so it's a little brutal out there right now.
You did sell off hundreds of your cotton farm.
Yeah,
and your wheat farm.
We've sold off the big ranch.
Yeah.
I'm down to 27 acres.
Well, and we talked about that a year ago with the gas tax bill and a lot of other regulations that are just hampering farmers today. But if you knew then, when you started, what you know now, would you be a farmer?
It's a great way to make a living. I was incredibly proud to do what I've done for decades, growing food and fiber for a hungry world. The community's been fabulous. Knowing people like you and all the way through the community, it's a great way to make a living. It's just brutal out there for small guys, and we were a small operation, and it's just tough to
So you would
survive.
do it all over again?
So yes, I'd do it all. Farming's fabulous fun.
Yeah. All right, Paul Betancourt. Appreciate your time as always.
Thank you,
Little
sir.
perspective there, huh? All right, coming up, our panel will give us some perspective. From one of the most important farm labor bills in decades to a Valley congressional candidate scoring a major endorsement. Next.